Here it comes from the fabulous penthouse studios of News Talk 1070 KNTH. This is The Price is Right. This is The Price of Business. Author of the hugely influential Empowerment to the People, award-winning, nationally syndicated columnist Kevin Price brings a fresh perspective to business news and the events that shape our lives. And now, here is the star of The Price of Business, Kevin Price.
Welcome to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price. Hoping you had a great weekend. I enjoyed speaking at the Young Republicans of Texas Federation's state convention this week. Enjoyed it very much. I would have loved to go into the prayer event. Wasn't able to do it, but that was a huge success, and props to those who were involved. Today's program, we're going to continue a theme that we focus on so often on this program, which is government and holding it accountable. And there's a great organization that I become involved in recently called tellmygov.com. That's tellmygov, as in government.com. Boris Ackerman, CEO and founder, and Terry Traylor, who is the chief marketing officer. They're here with us today with a special guest, Congressman Kevin Brady. And by the way, Congressman, I want to tell you early on that this organization, this company, tellmygov.com, you're the first sponsored guest on our program, and they're also in your congressional district. So they're helping in job creation right there in your own district. And welcome to the program.
Great, Kevin. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet. And I do want to mention you've been a guest and a great guest many times before. I've written more than a few articles about your effort to try to keep government in line, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And I want to just start off right now and let Boris mention real quickly about Tell My Gov and what their objectives are.
Great.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tellmygov.com was created to give the people a voice and a place where to go to be able to be part of the elections. In 2012, as you know, it's going to be a really important election for our country, especially with what's going on in the country today. And tellmygov.com not only provides a place for people to speak out, but also provide them information. If somebody just logs in and they get put in their zip code, they'll be able to get all their representative automatically.
Very good. Thank you very much. TellMyGov.com. I'm a huge fan, and you can even find a Price of Business page over there. Let me ask you, Congressman, you just got finished a huge battle when it came to the debt crisis, and I want to get your sense both on how things evolved to where they became to a situation where now the United States has a AA+ rating, and how you thought both the GOP and the White House handled that.
Well, I think poorly is the answer, and I certainly, as a conservative, didn't think we went nearly deep enough into the cuts. Our problem is we have plenty of votes for much deeper cuts and real reform of our entitlement programs in the House. Our problem is we're short about 14 votes or more in the Senate, and that has been the fight. Someone had to make a call on how much of real cuts and no tax increases we could force through the Senate and the White House. This was the result of it. But for conservatives like me, who voted on this because over the next decade it actually shrinks the size of government as a percentage of our economy, which is the direction I want to go. We're getting right back at it. We're still hungry for cuts.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously need to be if you want. My opinion is that the GOP wants to be a viable force in 2012 going forward. It's got to become really, in many respects, the antithesis of the Democratic Party, which is clearly seems driven towards socializing our economy.
Well, they have, and they are, and you're seeing after all the stimulus spending, after the nationalization of our health care, after Dodd-Frank and the nationalization of our banking sector, you see them still going back at it. The president, the day he gets jobs numbers, which his people call fabulous, but the rest of the world says, what? It was better than falling off a cliff, I guess was the best note. He came right back with more stimulus spending. Here we are. We spent almost $1 trillion with interest. Our unemployment rate was supposed to be, the White House promised us, 6.3% right now. We passed that stimulus. They only missed it by a mile. And they're about 6 million jobs short of what they promised. And here they are going back at it. On the same day, S&P downgrades for the first time our credit rating because we're so deep in debt and not making the structural reform. So there's just a huge disconnect between the White House and honestly, Democrats in Congress, big disconnect between the economy, our debt, and what people really want the country to do.
How important, people talked about in 2010 being absolutely crucial. It would have been great if we could win the Senate, but it was a virtual impossibility in light of the number of Republicans running versus Democrats. It's the exact opposite in 2012, true?
It is. It's just flipped exactly right. And I think we have a very good chance of taking the Senate, and I think we have a good chance of taking the White House as well. And if we want to pass, for example, the Ryan budget that dramatically changes the direction of the country, or the House Conservatives budget, the one I support as well, that went even deeper than that, we're going to have. And if we want tax reform and structural changes in our entitlements to preserve them, we're going to need different partners. The House is going to need different partners than the Senate and the White House.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think the president, in spite of the Republicans' inability to get a front runner, at least at this point, I think the president's still very vulnerable in 2012. I mean, there hasn't been a president since FDR that was able to win re-election with unemployment numbers above 7.5%. And let's face it, Barack Obama has proven to be no FDR. He doesn't even give emotional confidence.
No.
FDR's policies failed terribly. World War II bailed him out, but at least he conveyed confidence. This administration does everything but.
It does, you're right, and there's no chance our unemployment rate will be in the sevens at all next election time. There's a good chance it'll be in the high eights continuing. The jobs number in the Joint Economic Committee that I helped lead for Republicans, the hearing we had Monday, I just asked the Commissioner of Bureau of Labor Statistics, at this rate of job creation, how long before we work our way back to the pre-recession? His answer is never. At this job rate number, we never walked it down. In fact, the only reason the unemployment rate went down is that about 193,000 people last month simply gave up looking for work.
That's right. I didn't want to mention real quickly, I noticed the New York Times said that the job numbers improvement beat expectations. I don't know about you, Congressman, but I no longer have expectations when it comes to this administration's ability to create jobs. All right, I do want to ask, I do want to just real quickly ask Terry Traylor, again, with tellmygov.com.
Yeah, I'm looking at the homepage right now. It looks good.
Fantastic site. Terry, real quickly, you're the marketing guy. Tell us what you're going to do in about 30 seconds to promote this new organization, this important group.
Well, I would like to divert that to Boris because he's actually the one that's very active in setting up a lot of that mass marketing at the moment.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to provide information on every single representative that it represent every person that actually logs in. The website actually knows exactly where you're logging in from, and they will provide all the local and also federal representatives.
It's extremely intuitive. You got to check it out. Tellmygov.com. And they sponsored this time with you, Congressman Brady. I appreciate you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm looking at it. It looks great, and you guys are doing good work. Exactly the time we need this.
Yeah. Keep up the good fight, Boris.
And I just wanted to make sure that get everybody involved, and let's make a difference.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you, Congressman. We look forward to getting you back on again.
Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
We'll have more for you right after this on News Talk 1070 AM KNTH.